This year's McLaren seems to have more adverts on it than Times Square. Really quickly, I want to say thank you, because when I filmed my previous video, my subscriber count was in the low 40s. It's now in the high 70s. We're getting very close to 100. So thank you so much if you have already subscribed. If you haven't, consider doing that down below, hitting that red button, hitting the notification bell, and while you're down there, maybe the like button. It would really help out me, and it would really help out the channel, so thank you. Ciao friends and welcome back to 2sexted. Last night McLaren became the first team to unveil their 2021 challenger, in their case the MCL 35M, which looks a little bit like this. Oh wait, sorry, that's last year's car. It looks like this. Yeah, it hasn't changed all that much. But that is to be expected somewhat. Due to the new regulations which were initially supposed to come in 2021 being pushed back to 2022 due to a virus, teams were required to effectively run cars very similar to the ones they ran last year, with slightly less downforce due to a reduction in floor, I believe. That was just so they didn't destroy the Pirelli tyres, which I'm pretty sure they're updating anyway, so there was very little point to that. But whatever. Teams were also limited in the upgrades that they could do by a token system. Now, McLaren are the only team switching engine suppliers this year, and they had to spend all of their tokens on that, going to Mercedes power. I have a feeling, by the way, that's what the M stands for. Not the first one, the second one. So McLaren sensibly decided to fundamentally keep the livery the same, as well as the car design. Effectively, a year of refinement. This is reflected in the name of the car, the MCL 35M. It's not the MCL 36, that's presumably next year's car. Personally, I actually think this year's livery looks a little bit worse, but we will see how it looks on track. We did get a little bit of a preview of that because they took the car to Silverstone this morning and drove it around a bit, just as a press day, not any kind of official testing. But we will see how it performs in Bahrain. McLaren have also changed tactics over the last few years, going from a car without any sponsors for some reason to going to one with as many sponsors as they can possibly get. This year's McLaren seems to have more adverts on it than Times Square, including a large sponsorship placement of the Coca-Cola logo right on the side of the car, which to me feels ironic because Coca-Cola definitely owned Fanta, and this thing's bright orange. You'd think Coca-Cola would fit better on the Mercedes. McLaren revealed this car on a live stream yesterday, featuring both of their drivers, number 3 Mr. Daniel Ricciardo and number 4 Lando Norris. Lando Norris, of course, having driven with the team for the last 2 years, Daniel Ricciardo being new, having come from Renault. McLaren also showed footage of James Key, their technical director, revealing the car to both of their drivers. Apparently this couldn't be done live because the car was already on its way to Silverstone. It seems like James Key might be the key to their success. Sorry. Hopefully this car is good enough so that McLaren can secure P3 in the championship, or better, again this year. I'm not saying it's likely, but I would love to see it. I'm also hopeful we can see lots more last lap Landos and last of the late breakers Daniel Ricciardos. A lot of full sends in 2021. It's also notable with this new Mercedes powertrain, the packaging on the back of the car has most definitely got tighter. This is probably just because the Mercedes is more compact than the Renault that they were previously using, which should of course help with aerodynamics and mean that their tokens were a little less wasted on one thing than they might have been otherwise. Apologies, by the way, if you can hear trains or building work. For the first time since I started the channel, I've had to open the window because it's far too hot in here while I'm recording, so there's a little bit of background noise. Mercedes, however, don't appear on the car anywhere, which is interesting. They appear quite prominently on the Williams. This is presumably because of George Russell, who is a Mercedes driver currently driving for Williams, and even Aston Martin have a much tighter relationship with Mercedes than McLaren do. Even leaving aside the fact that the RP20 and presumably this year's Aston Martin are effectively just clones of an old Mercedes design. Aston Martin road cars use last-gen Mercedes infotainment systems and I believe occasionally Mercedes engines. Obviously Aston Martin road cars isn't technically the same company as Aston Martin F1 and it's very complicated, but it is still a stronger relationship than McLaren, who don't do that. That's not what they do. They make their own engines, I think. And in other small updates while I've got you, Red Bull have announced their intention to take over the Honda power units from the end of 2021. This was all pretty much expected, especially considering the budget cap has come in, so Red Bull have a little bit more money lying around. And, of course, because the engine freeze is now officially slated to come in. Looks like AlphaTauri are next to reveal their car on the 19th, and Alfa Romeo shortly after that on the 22nd. So those are something to look forward to. I'm excited to see both of their cars. I think last year's AlphaTauri was a very good first attempt, and I can't wait to see how they refine it for this year. Likewise, I think the 2020 Alfa Romeo looked very good with the slightly redder red to match the Orlen branding. So that should be an interesting car as well. That's it for February. I think everything else comes out in March, although the Ferrari team unveiling is sooner than that. Can't remember when though, sorry. Thank you so very much for watching. Once again, thank you so much for subscribing. It's amazing to see how fast this channel has already started to grow. Comment down below, tell me what you think of this new McLaren and the new driver lineup, and I will see you in a few days.